Well, if you would just calm down. They have asked you to furnish more information, and that is all. Yeah, but they...
Joe, how are you going with those outstanding briefs?
They haven't said that.
Outstanding briefs.
Oh, thank you. Thank the police.
I'm talking about the ones that due last week. Go.
Oh,
Yeah, well, keep your shirt on there, Gummy.
Now, Thomas, Police Acting Sergeant Stewart
Sounds like
speaking.
a little power goes straight to their head.
Can you give me an address? OK. We'll send someone out straight away. Jonesy, call out to the block of flats in Pearson Street.
I might come with.
No, you've got briefs to do. Susie?
Yeah, we've been into that. And they
Susie, call out.
You know, I've got to go. I'll speak to you later.
So Brad hit a hurdle with his private agent's licence.
Oh, a bit of a delay, that's all.
Well, he's got the right background for it. Ex-copper.
Yeah, well, they're asking questions about his psychological state after the accident.
So he was depressed. Who wouldn't be?
Exactly. But he's over it now. He's got nothing to worry about. No, this must be it.
Please, come quickly. I walked in and there he was. I rang the police right away.
Maybe we should.
Yeah, Mrs...
Marcia. I was hoping it wouldn't come to this. I mean, there were problems, but...
If you don't mind, I just need to clarify what time you found it.
Of course, it was just after 8. I knocked, but there was no answer, so I looked around and I found a key.
A key? But aren't you married?
Oh, no, not his wife. I'm his psychologist. His name was Robert Morton. His GP referred him to me about a month ago.
When did you last speak to Mr. Morton?
He rang me at home last night.
Shouldn't he have been on antidepressants or something?
I'm a psychologist. I can't prescribe medication.
He was thinking of killing himself.
And I tried to refer him on to a psychiatrist in St David's, but he absolutely refused to go.
Did he mention harming himself when you spoke to him last night?
Oh, not specifically. But he did promise to ring me first thing this morning, and when he didn't, I was concerned enough to go straight round there.
Well, there's absolutely nothing that could have been done to prevent this.
If he'd come to see me sooner, perhaps. But Rob's condition was very severe.
Well, we'll have to notify Mr. Morton's next of kin.
Hello? What's your name?
Charlotte, my days take me to circus.
Listen, sweetheart, is Mummy here?
It's Rob, isn't it?
Yes.
What's wrong, Mummy?
Nothing, sweetie. Mummy's fine.
Look, I tell you what. Why don't you show me some of your toys while Mummy speaks to the policewoman? Yeah?
I won't be long. I promise. How? He hanged himself. He was taking Charlotte to the circus on the weekend. That's all she talks about. This is my fault. No, it isn't. Some mornings he would be so down that he wouldn't even get out of bed. I talked to the doctor. He said depression's an illness, that he needed treatment. Well, he was seeing someone, a psychologist. I was so angry with him. Poor guy.
Poor guy. It's his poor wife that has to deal with the mess.
Yeah, I know, but imagine being that desperate and not being able to talk about it.
It's overrated if you ask me, talking.
It's your personal philosophy, is it? Build a bridge and get over it.
Spilling his guts to a trick cyclist didn't really work for Rob Morton, did it?
Go see the Mount Thomas 208.
208 receiving.
Message for Constable Rayner. There's been a traffic accident involving your husband. Acting Sergeant Stewart requests your attendance.
bloody blowing you, Brad. Do you want to lose your ticket for 2 years?
Yeah, that'd make you feel like a real man today, wouldn't it?
Brad, what happened?
Oh, you had to go
my
and call
God.
the missus,
Your
didn't
head.
you? Yeah, I'm fine. And this moron hit me up the arse. I'm totally in the right, but Roger Ramjet here still wants to breath test me.
Brad, you know as well as I do, I have to test the both of you.
Brad, blowing the bag, then let's get you to the hospital.
I'm not going to hospital. I'm not blowing in any damn bag.
Listen, will you talk to him, please? I am this far from doing him for a fuse.
Can you get me out of this, please?
Have you been drinking?
Yeah, a few. Just enough to be over the limit.
Oh, I don't believe this.
Susie, I can't lose my license, Susie. You know how much it means to me.
You should have thought of that before you got loaded.
I'm not loaded. Please, Susie.
Even if I was willing, do you really think I would ask Ben to compromise himself?
Well, I wouldn't know about that. You're closer to him than I am.
That is crap, Brad, and you know
I'll
it.
stuff you. Yeah, I'll do your damn test.
Okay. Just go into this until I tell you to stop. Okay. Brad, in my opinion, your blood contains alcohol. I now require you to come down to Mount Thomas Police Station for a breath test.
Look, I want to get him to the hospital, get his head checked. They can do a blood test there.
Fine.
You should have let them keep you in.
Hey, I only agreed to the hospital to save you the embarrassment of having them drag me down the station.
Well, that was big of you. Make you a coffee.
I've done my license. I might as well stay permanently pissed.
You haven't done it yet.
You ever heard of a private agent in a wheelchair, anyway?
Problem isn't the chair, it's your attitude.
Oh, cheers, Suze. Yeah, my name's Brad Fingleton, and I'm a drunk paraplegic with a bad attitude and no driver's license. Yep. Got a lot going for me.
You have got a lot going for you. You just can't see it at the moment. Trust me.
Yeah, thanks for the diagnosis, but I don't think you really have a clue.
I'm going back to work.
Is everything all right?
Yeah, I better catch up on the running sheet.
Susie, you need some time off. I'm sure I can arrange something.
I really think I'm better off here.
If you're sure. Jonesy?
Guess what I just heard? There's another applicant for the sergeant's job.
Yeah.
Addison.
Attila Addison. He's one of Falcon Price's
I know.
boys.
Ben's going to hit the roof.
No, he's not. Because you are not going to tell him.
He's got a right to know what he's up against.
What, he thinks the inspector's out to get him?
Well, Rusty is out to get him.
There's no point in panicking, Ben.
Ben, Hotberg, 35 Fraser Street.
Just keep still, all right? There's a police! Stay where you are.
Get away from me, sir, get away!
Right, stand back.
I found him snooping around, probably trying to burgle the place.
Is that true? Hey?
No, I haven't been able to get a word out of him either.
What's your name? What's your name?
He's skulking around, trying to get a perv through the window.
That true?
What's your name?
Listen, if you don't talk to us here, we'll have to take you down to the station.
Paul. Paul Kennedy.
Were you trying to break in, Paul?
I wouldn't do that. I would never steal from Marcia.
Marcia?
My wife.
I see her on Wednesdays. At her clinic.
Well, he's a creep.
Yeah, but a dangerous creep?
Well, you know what they say about the quiet ones, Suze.
Intervention order?
Yeah, it's warranted.
David, why didn't you call me?
How was I supposed to know that he's a client?
Well, what, you didn't think to ask? Are you still holding Paul Kennedy?
We've spoken to him about a number of matters, including assaulting your husband.
This is all a misunderstanding.
Well, it looks to us like he's been spying on you.
Paul is harmless. My husband wishes to drop the charges.
Is that right, Mr. Budd?
I don't like you dealing with people like that. He needs to get the message.
Mr. Kennedy's been watching the house. Now he's made an approach. If your husband hadn't been there, he might have broken in.
He had an appointment today, but I wasn't in my rooms for obvious reasons. He was just trying to see me.
But I still think this man might be dangerous.
I've been treating him for well over 9 months now. which is long enough to get to know him a great deal better than you have in the last 20 minutes. Is it possible for me to see him, please?
Well, Marcia, I didn't do anything.
Mr. Kennedy, if you could just sit down.
You believe me, don't you?
I'm sure you didn't mean to upset anyone. Please, sit down.
I went to see you for my appointment, but your office was closed.
Something happened this morning. Something that made me late for work.
Well, I was there on time, but your door was locked, so I went to find you.
Yes, I understand.
Well, now they want to arrest me.
We haven't charged you with anything, Mr. Kennedy.
When you weren't there, I got worried. I wanted to make sure that nothing had happened to you.
Yes, I can understand that. But I need you to understand that it was inappropriate to go to my house. There's a very clear line between my private life and my work. You are my client. So are we ready to put all this behind us? Now, I want you to cooperate with the police, and I'll see you at the usual time on Friday.
I had enough head readers after the accident.
Not like this one.
I don't know.
Please. Just give it a try. For me. We can't go on like this.
Got a splitting headache, if that's any consolation.
It isn't, actually. You can't keep blaming the world for what's happened to you. Blaming other people, me.
I'm really sorry, Suze.
I know you are. But that's not going to change anything.
This Marcia Budd. Is she good looking?
Not in the least.
Well, I've been through a lot the last couple of years. You know, a lot of stuff.
Oh, from what I can see, you're coping remarkably well.
Yeah, well, being stuck in the chair and not being able to move around. But look, that's just part of the problem.
The two of you, have you attempted sex since Brad's accident?
What did you say to her?
Nothing.
If this is something you're not comfortable with...
Well, maybe we could start with something.
No, look, we've got to talk about it sometime. You're asking if we attempted sex. Well, the answer's yes.
But there were difficulties.
Yeah.
I had an accident, all right?
I'm sure loss of bladder control is not surprising on your first attempt. Have you tried again since?
Susie keeps trying, but, I don't know, I just...
Why don't you tell me a little about your situation?
Well, the motor accident left me with an incomplete injury to my T12 vertebrae.
Incomplete?
It means there's some functioning below the primary level of injury.
Including sexual functioning?
That's what they tell me.
So it is possible for you to sustain an erection?
Don't mince your words, do you?
I understand this is very difficult for you both. But I can help. If you let me. Look, I really don't have time for this now, but I think I might have an appointment for you this afternoon.
I have to work this afternoon.
Well, I think it might be easier for Brad if it were just the two of us.
Sure, yeah.
Rachel, can we find a time later today for Mr. Fingleton?
Certainly, Mrs. Budd.
Oh, what's this?
I don't know. It arrived when I was out. Mrs. Budd has an opening at 5:30.
Yeah, fine.
How do I spell your name?
God.
Whoa.
Oh, it's a dingo. Someone's cut it off.
Looks like some sort of animal, maybe a horse.
Could be a bull.
Did you see anyone on your way back?
No, no one.
Who would do this?
There's a note. Is this what you want?
Do you have any idea who might be behind this?
No, none.
How about one of your patients?
Oh, no, that's not possible.
Well, whoever sent this obviously has a sexual hang-up.
Whoever sent this is in great need of help, and urgently.
Well, we'll need a list of your clients.
I already told you none of them would be capable of anything like this.
Well, how can you be sure?
I get to know my clients at a very deep level.
What about this,
Oh, Paul Kennedy.
Paul Kennedy, yeah. He was at your house this morning.
Paul could never do this.
Did he have an appointment today?
No, he didn't.
Right, well, we'll need to run through your movements this morning.
I was at the office with my client.
She was with Brad and I. The secretary was gone for less than 10 minutes.
Which suggests whoever did it probably knew a routine.
A patient.
Well, we still can't be sure of that.
What are the other options?
Well, the way she tells it, she never made an enemy in her life.
So let's go through her patients.
Well, it'd help if she gave us a list, boss.
She wants to protect her clients.
Well, one of her clients obviously has it in for her.
She's well within her rights if she doesn't want to provide us with a list.
Paul Kennedy, he doesn't have any priors, but he does have a shooter's license.
Why would I do this? Marcia, Mrs. Budd, has helped me.
Paul, do you own a gun?
No.
A .22 caliber rifle is registered in your name.
Well, I don't have it anymore, all right?
Where is it?
I got rid of it.
And why was that?
I only ever used it to shoot the rabbits.
Rabbits?
They were getting through under the back fence, eating the veggies. My mother planted that garden.
Where's the rifle now, Paul?
I got rid of it.
And why did you do that?
Been through some rough times, all right? I was worried that I might...
Hurt someone?
Hurt myself. Myself.
What did you do with the rifle?
Threw it in the river.
The abattoir squad returns.
Find anything?
Yeah, found out I'm going to become a vegetarian.
Paul Kennedy hasn't worked at the abattoirs, and no one there's ever heard of him.
Any bulls missing? Or bits of bull?
Just lots of bits.
Well, if you ask me, the rest of that bull's on its way to the hamburger factory.
Mrs. Morton, what can we do for you?
I started going through Rob's things this morning, and there's something missing. I wasn't even going to look at his diaries, you know. I told myself that I didn't have the right.
Diaries?
Well, I thought there might be a clue, some way to make sense of what he'd done.
And did you find anything?
Well, that's just it. I looked through them, and the most recent entry was more than 2 months ago.
Well, perhaps he stopped writing.
Rob has been keeping his diaries ever since I've known him. He writes. He wrote every day.
Well, he'd been depressed lately, so maybe he...
When he was depressed, he wrote even more than usual. He started a new book the week before he moved out, and now it's missing.
Well, could he have destroyed it? Thrown it out?
You don't understand. Rob was obsessive about his diaries. He took them everywhere with him. Someone's taken it, I'm sure of it.
Well, he's thorough. I'll give him that. Spent 3 pages talking about what he had for lunch.
You better not tell Chris what he thinks of the Imperial Schnitzel.
The unexamined life isn't worth living.
Maybe the over-examined life isn't worth writing about.
So he stopped writing his diary. What's the big deal?
Hey, when's the last entry?
4th of September.
And that's the end of the last book.
Yeah, but his wife said he definitely started another one.
So what are you saying? Someone stole a dead man's diary?
Maybe it contained incriminating information.
Well, about what? Imperial Schnitzel?
Maybe this only looks like death by suicide.
Yeah, okay.
Keep reading, Jonesy.
Well, thanks heaps. It's a real page-turner.
Yeah, assault in progress at Marcia Budd's clinic.
You can't do this to us. I want things to go back to the way they were.
Paul, you need to calm down.
No. Tell them to go.
I'm handling this.
Take it easy and put the weapon down.
Please, we were just talking.
Did you call them?
No.
And what are they doing here? This is all a mistake. I haven't done anything.
Paul, I need you to put the weapon down.
I was talking to Marcia, that's all.
You don't want to hurt her.
I could never hurt Marcia.
Then I need you to step back. All right, you drop the weapon and you step back.
You don't want to hurt anyone.
No!
Sorry, Marcia.
Oh, God, Paul.
No! No! I don't want to live without you, Marcia. I can't.
Marcia helped you a lot, didn't she?
She taught me how to have confidence in myself. As a man, you know.
And how did she do that?
I'd rather not say. I'm not supposed to talk about my therapy.
Was it sexual? Paul, Marcia does more than just talk to you, doesn't she?
It started out as part of my therapy. But now we're in love.
Whatever relationship I have with Mr. Kennedy is purely professional.
Well, that's not what he says. He claims that you have sex with him at your clinic as a part of his therapy.
And you believe him? This is transference. Many clients become emotionally attached to their therapist.
Yes, but not many therapists reciprocate.
I don't doubt that Paul believes there is more to it, and that's why I told him I'd have to refer him on.
And that's what's upset him.
Well, he was distressed, yes, but it wasn't until you showed up that he became violent. If you had given me the opportunity to calm him down, we wouldn't be in this situation. Now, if you don't mind...
And what about Rob Morton? Were you involved with him?
I believe I've answered your questions.
Did he ever mention his diaries?
Diaries? No, never.
We'll need you to make a statement about Paul Kennedy.
I'm not willing to press charges.
Oh, that's your right, but we do advise you take out an intervention order.
All right. And how? Can I leave?
So you've never had a sexual relationship with a client?
That would be absurd.
Even if you thought you were helping them?
I'd be struck off as a registered psychologist. I'd never risk that.
Does Marcia know about this?
Yes, she does.
But she wouldn't have agreed to it.
If you breach the order and go anywhere near Marcia, Bud, we will have no choice but to charge you.
I've never loved anyone like this before. Is this what love is supposed to feel like? Like I've been punched in the guts? Why is she doing this to me?
We cannot just release him. In the state he's in, he's likely to jump off a cliff.
Get on to DHS, see if they can send over a counsellor.
Yeah, a male one.
Well, he's deluded. He probably really does believe that he's having an affair with her.
Didn't feel like he was faking to me. Ben, can I duck off for about an hour? I just really have to check something out.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem as long as Joe's willing to stay back for an extra hour. Overtime?
Yeah.
Okay, done.
Better take advantage of this flexibility while we still can, eh?
Why is that?
Well, just until you're the new sergeant, until it's official, because you'll probably crack down after that, you know?
Joe, what's going on?
It's just a rumour.
I wouldn't worry about it, mate.
Come on, spill the beans.
There might be another applicant for the sergeant's job.
Who?
That... What's his name? Addison.
Attila Addison?
Thanks for this, Joe.
Yeah, no problem.
I'd like to see Mrs. Budd.
She's with a client right now. If you'd like to leave...
will only take a minute.
No, the sessions can never be interrupted.
Yeah, and why would that be?
Good, what I thought. I mean, at the time. Suze, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Budd. I told her you were still in your session.
That's all right, Rachel. Why don't you come in, Susie, since you're here? Brad and I have had a good session together. We've covered a lot of ground. Brad feels there's been a steady breakdown of communication in the past year. He feels a lot of the problem comes from the way you perceive him. Specifically the notion that he's changed, that he's a different person since the accident.
I don't think that.
Another issue we talked about quite a bit was trust.
What about trust? What did you say?
You don't have to get defensive. No one's saying this is all your fault.
All of what? What's going on?
Brad feels you no longer trust his judgment, that you tend to make decisions for him rather than with him.
That is not true.
You burst in here just now. What exactly was it you were expecting to find?
How do you like that woman? Turning everything back on me like that. Don't worry, we'll find another therapist.
You were the one that picked this one.
Yeah, well, I made a mistake, all right? Marcia Budd is dangerous.
Everything Marcia said about you and me was spot on. She seems to understand exactly what I'm going through.
What did I don't?
She listens to what I'm saying. She treats me like an equal. She builds my confidence rather than trying to cut me down to size.
I'm not trying to cut you down to size.
Yes, you do.
Brad, what is she saying to you? Look what she's doing to us. What are you doing?
I'll find my own way home.
Brad!
Get my chair.
No.
Get my bloody chair!
Get out.
What's this about?
I want to ask you again about your relationship with Marcia Budd. How the relationship started.
I thought you didn't believe me.
Whether I believe you or not doesn't matter. What we need is proof.
That we had sex.
Was it always in her rooms? Did you go to her house?
Wouldn't want her to get into any trouble.
You want me to believe you, don't you, Paul?
We only ever did it in her room. During my appointments.
So no one could verify that? Did anyone ever see you together?
No. But she did tape all our sessions.
She taped them having sex.
Raina, where is this going?
I want to get a warrant to search Marcia Budd's offices.
And that will prove what?
These people go to her for help and she abuses their trust. For all we know, her actions could have led directly to Rob Morton's suicide.
Well, even if your allegation's true, what she's doing is unethical. It's not illegal.
Well, Paul Kennedy's still the only suspect we've got for sending the bull's penis. If he was having a sexual relationship with Marcia, it goes to motive.
All right, go ahead.
The warrant entitles us to seize all tapes relating to Paul Kennedy's sessions.
And if I refuse?
You'll be charged with hinder or obstruct police.
The tapes are kept in there.
Thank you.
I know why you're doing this. I'm not the enemy. If you need to talk, we can make a time.
How are these organised?
Alphabetically.
Well, there's nothing under Kennedy.
Oh, I might have mislaid them. If they turn up, I'd be happy to bring them down to the station. Or if there's anything else I can do to help.
What about this one?
That tape's not a session with Paul.
Yeah, well, it's not labelled, which means we can't be sure.
You'd be surprised how many men have this problem. I do realise how frustrating that must feel.
We haven't even tried to have sex since that one time.
It doesn't sound like Paul Kennedy.
How do you feel about that?
That must be another client.
You've wanted to?
Of course. Now things are complicated. She still tries. When she touches me, I don't know what it is. I just can't. Not with Susie.
You know, sometimes it's easier to break the ice with someone else.
Susie.
I have to hear this.
I don't know.
Someone who doesn't have as much personal history.
Suze.
I want to know. Well, now we know that Paul
Susie,
Kennedy's telling
wait
the
a
truth.
minute.
All we
Hey.
have to do is get her on the record.
Don't you think you should take some time?
For what?
We can't talk to him, find out what really happened.
I know what happened. I've got ears, haven't I?
No, well, it wasn't clear from the tape.
It was clear enough for me.
So did the warrant turn anything up?
Boss, can I have a word to you, please, in private?
Anything you've got to say, you can say it in front of me.
Well, perhaps you'd better both come in. All right. How can you be so sure that Marcia Budd is having sexual relations with her client?
We heard the tape.
Of her with Paul?
No, it was
was
another
Brad.
client.
Brad?
Now we know for sure that Marcia Budd is having sexual relations with at least 2 of her clients, maybe more.
Not only that, the volume of Rob Morton's diaries that's missing corresponds with when he started seeing Marcia.
Which means that her actions may have contributed to his suicide.
You think she took the diary to cover her tracks?
She had access to his house. She was the one who found him.
Get a warrant.
I already told you I don't know anything about any diaries.
Would you mind if we took a look around?
Do you have a warrant? I've got nothing to hide.
So, what do you need a shredder for?
Patient notes are highly confidential. Once I've transcribed them, I shred the original.
Looks like you've been doing a lot of transcribing lately.
Not everything's going to fit through a shredder, is it?
You can't do that. Who's going to clean up the mess?
What does this look like to you, Acting Sergeant?
Cover from one of Rob Morton's diaries.
Don't tell me. Patient notes, right?
So you deny having sexual relations with your patients?
I'm not even going to dignify that with an answer. All my work is aimed at helping my clients.
Should be nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize.
You had sex with Rob Morton. That's why you shredded his diary.
I told you I used that workbook for my notes.
What about Paul Kennedy?
Certainly Paul harboured fantasies of a relationship. When I realised the extent, I stopped treating him.
And Brad Fingleton?
I'm sorry?
We heard the tape.
I don't know what you think you've heard, but I conducted myself in a professional manner with Mr. Fingleton.
Well, it's not how it sounded to me.
Sometimes things get misinterpreted.
Nothing we can get her on, boss. It's just no evidence.
Well, what if Paul Kennedy made a statement?
It's still his word against hers.
Could we use the tape?
No, it's ambiguous. She claims that they just talked.
Yeah, well, Brad could tell us for sure.
Don't you think that Susie's been through enough for one day?
Let's exhaust all other options before we involve her.
There's one other person who I think we should be talking to.
Another patient?
Her husband. I'd be very interested to know how David Budd feels about Marcia's personal approach to her patients.
I know very little about my wife's practice. Frankly, I don't consider it any of my business. Or yours.
But you do know that a bull's penis was left at her rooms yesterday morning?
Of course. She was very upset about it.
Have you got any idea who might have sent it?
I assume it was one of her clients.
Where were you yesterday morning at 10 o'clock?
I beg your pardon?
You heard.
You think I sent it to her?
Prove me wrong. Where were you at 10 o'clock?
I was teaching.
What do you teach?
Automotive engineering at the TAFE.
Well, what time did you start?
I started at 8 o'clock, taught right through till 3.
And you were there the whole time?
Knee deep in sunboard, yes.
That's confirmed. He taught his first class at 8 and finished at 3.
And he doesn't know anything about his wife's involvement with her patients?
So he says.
Well, he's not exactly overjoyed with the line of work.
Well, we still don't have any proof that she's actually taking advantage of anyone.
Paul Kennedy's statement?
He's not exactly a reliable witness.
The shredded diary?
Hearsay. Private thoughts of a dead man.
Am I being kept out of this investigation?
Raina.
Or have you made any progress?
Not as such, no.
There is one reliable witness who isn't on the record.
No.
It's okay.
We can pursue this, but you have to consider whether you want your private life on the record.
A man is dead because of Marcia Budd. She should not be allowed to get away with this.
Make a statement about what?
About what happened after our fight last night.
Nothing happened.
You went back to see Marcia Budd.
What is with you? You were never the jealous type.
I heard the tape, Brad. She tapes all her sessions. We listened to it by accident. We thought it was someone else.
Look, Suze, I don't know what you think you heard, but I can tell you now.
Out after a few minutes, so whatever you did with her. The point is, we can stop this happening to someone else.
You publicly humiliate me and yourself just to get back it up.
I've already been humiliated.
Hey, Brad, so we're gonna do this or what?
For the record, we need to establish how long you've been seeing Marcia Budd.
Went and saw her for the first time yesterday morning. It's just to meet her, really. Just Susie went with me.
And then you went again yesterday afternoon, and then again last night?
What did that last session entail?
We talked.
About?
You know what about. Since the accident, things haven't been quite right in the bedroom.
Right. So you talked about it?
Yes.
Just talked?
She said she wanted to know if it was a physical difficulty.
Yes?
She asked if I responded to stimulus.
What sort of stimulus?
To touch.
And is that as far as it went?
No, we had sex. We did it there in our office. Sorry, Suze.
I may have assisted some of my clients with problems of a sexual nature, but only on occasion.
More like at the drop of a hat.
Everything I've done is recognised as a valid treatment.
Recognised by whom?
There's plenty of literature which suggests that surrogacy in a controlled situation...
You do realise that we have to pass a copy of our report on to the Board of Psychologists?
My intention was that the treatment would be therapeutic.
The shredded diary. Who was that therapeutic for?
People misunderstand. I did what I could for Rob. He was deeply depressed.
There will be an inquiry into his death. You'll have the opportunity to give your version of events to the coroner.
I was trying to help him. In the same way that I try to help all my clients.
Well, we'll need a list of everybody else you've helped.
Okay. Thank you very much. That was forensic. They found something on the package.
So why don't you tell us again how you don't know anything about your wife sleeping with the patients?
I have nothing to say.
You don't have to say a word. Forensic have found traces of motor oil on the package.
It wasn't me. I was working all day.
Not quite. See, this is your teaching schedule, and it seems that you took a break at the same time the package was delivered to your wife's office.
I didn't hurt anyone.
It's a hell of a way to show your affection.
I just wanted it to stop. I thought I could shake her up a bit, maybe get her to stop practicing.
I don't think you have to worry about that somehow.
I'm not a jealous man, really. I'm not.
So you knew about your wife's affairs with her patients?
Not in any detail, no. Not until I found the diary. She kept it hidden in the study until she shredded it. I know she may have treated me badly, I can see that. But I just can't let go. Is it so unreasonable to want my wife to myself?
Right, so who's for the pub?
What are we eating?
Well, you know what? I reckon I could go with schnitzel.
Ah, sounds good.
Suze?
Oh, no, thanks.
You going to hang around all night?
Hey, from headquarters.
Oh, what's the bet this is Attila's application for sergeant?
Should we drop it off to the boss?
Rather drop it up a cliff, do Benny a favour.
Yeah, I'll take it round to the boss.
You know what? I can steam this. It works every time.
No need for dirty tricks. The best man's going to win.
You are such a hero.
All right, see ya.
All right. Finish that tomorrow.
I'm nearly done.
It'll wait.
What am I supposed to say to him?
It's a bit out of my jurisdiction. Besides, I don't have the best track record when it comes to marriages.
I can't stay here all night.
Go home. Talk.
Did you get what you wanted?
I don't understand. How could you do it with her when you can't do it with me?
Marcia saw me for the man I am now. For a second, I liked what she saw. When you look at me, all you ever see is the person I used to be.
When I look at you, I see the man I love.
You see everything we've lost.
I just want things to go back to how they were. I want all of the good things back that we had.
Oh, so that's why you put me through the mill this afternoon, is it?
I want things the way they were. I just want...
You made me look like an arsehole in front of everyone.
You behave like an asshole.
Fine.
What are you doing?
I'm leaving. I'll come back and get my stuff when you're not here.
Don't be stupid. You've got nowhere to go.